going to go live again. I'm going to check the quick updates. Talk show, optimize the encoder setting, connect to Twitter, confirm and go live. We should be live. It's telling us we're live.
Okay. I still see a network error. Oh, something's happening. Ah, yes.
We're there?
Success.
All right, good. Whew. All right, so we know we need to do all the reboots beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's like my last week when I was trying to get on the show with you. Like my camera was just like, nope, not happening today.
Yeah, that happens. All right, good. So now we're back.
Huzzah.
Potato can one stream handle. I tell you what.
Okay.
That was.
What were we talking about?
That was pretty sad. Let's have a fat rip in the chat for the two potatoes.
Nothing like that.
Did their level best there. To Car 98. I mean, it's kind of Wild West, but we're sticking with the
not
sticking with the big
don't
guns
care.
here. No more potatoes.
That's for in-person conversation only.
That was
supposed to be like obvious that I've never done a
that
drug
was
in my life.
that was bad. On all counts,
I
really.
actually believe that more. To be honest,
there was more badness
but,
there for me
all right.
than
So
just
now
that
let's
poor
get
Indian
back
kid,
to what we're talking about here
the
on the
Blue of
stream.
Jaipur got him.
I'm not even on
Let's
the
have a run
channel, so I
around
don't
for a
even
bit.
see
Let's
us.
see what's going down.
Channel.
We're in the top.
I wonder if I could stream this to my. I want to stream this to my TV. It'll probably.
Do you have like a Twitch app on your TV?
No, I don't. But I have Chromecast. So
okay.
actually, I don't want to. It's delayed. I don't want to do it behind.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. My chat from Slobs didn't come. Oh, it did because I just joined late. All right, never mind. I'm going to take that back. So, all right. So let's talk about. So let's start over.
Yeah.
Please. So introduce yourself and introduce the stream.
Hey, I'm AJ, and this is the Tuesday night stream for the tentatively named campaign Marauder, which is going to be a futuristic dystopian setting with some other elements such as spaghetti western introduced into it. And right now we're in the world building process, so enjoy.
So let's talk about this term spaghetti. Spaghetti western.
Yes.
I like it. It interests me. What do you mean by it?
Do you know spaghetti western, the term?
No.
How it originated?
No. Let's start with that.
Okay, so spaghetti western is pretty much a so back in like the 50s and 60s.
Mm-hmm.
There was a surge of westerns that were made in Italy. Some of the most popular ones being by Sergio Leone. Like
Okay.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Fistful of Dollars, things like that. Those were all made and produced in Italy. So they were called spaghetti westerns because of the Italian origins.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Spelling your last name, it's Martin Martin double son. AJ at dead.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
I haven't tweeted in a while.
I'm just tweeting it out there. Long Island table top. And at LI Retro. There we go. And I'm just going to tweet it out there. All right. So we got a comment. Now, great. Explayed in. Okay, great. Found it. But might need to leave. Love the windows. All right, good. Dave, if you hear this before you leave, how's the sound? In general, you're okay with that? Everybody else, by all means, jump in and join our discussion because we're looking for any suggestions. Do you have your
critiques.
Do you have the document open?
Oh, let me get that actually.
Okay.
I have like a million Google Docs open.
Okay, because I'm going to be playing around with the adjustments here, the technical here, and just practicing some stuff. So if you can take the notes while we do this, that'd be great.
Okay. A little hard because this is on a very high tech tissue box stage. So.
Oh, good. All right. So you're coming through clear. So this actually will solve the problem. Because the weekly word I can't use Streamlabs OBS because this Streamlabs OBS is attached to the Twitch channel. So I have to use regular OBS. And I don't want to go and play around and change everything around, so I'm not going to do that.
All right, I'll have the doc open right now, so...
Okay, first question. First question / answer. This is going to be a bi-weekly stream. That means once every other week, correct?
Yes.
All right. So once every other week, it's going to go from 7:30 to 9:30. 2 hours is good?
Just about, yeah, I think.
All right. And if we wrap up between 9:30 and 10, that's perfectly fine.
Oh, yeah.
So this is our second week in a row. So now let's go to the every other week. Is it going to be 2 weeks from today, or are we going to go next week and then 2 weeks?
Next week and then 2 weeks would probably be good.
Okay, perfect.
Because remember we said that Lex would join.
Is Lex now going to be a player going forward?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably mostly the world building part.
Okay. All right. Good. So then next week we'll have another stream, and then it'll be every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I may have to come up with a custom scheduler. It's horrible, the scheduling thing. I thought there'd be more extensions. I may have to get one written myself.
Oh, like a productivity thing?
Well, you could just put like your upcoming schedule on the bottom, and they have countdowns.
Yeah. Which
is great. However, it doesn't help if you do it bi-weekly.
Oh.
Because they only have 1 week. It's like you can't really schedule out. So I'm going to play around with that and see what I can do.
All right.
That's one of the things that I'll be doing. I also, I did add some links down below the channel. At like tabletop and Facebook and Twitter links.
Ah, perfect.
And the suggestion box is still there. I'm going to use that more and more. It's so weird looking at myself talking 3 seconds behind myself.
Right, it's super weird.
Yeah.
and plus you're flipped.
Yeah. Oh,
so I'm just like, wow, that's not how I look. That's not my face. That's incorrect.
Oh, well, you know what it is? I got used to the flipped because of my stream, so I don't even think of it. But you're right, we are flipped. Okay, so we have that. So how are we going to go about getting players? Are we just going to keep asking?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll keep asking.
All right, that's fine. We're going to start our world building on Monday. John and I are going to start that world building stream. So the first one may just be me and him. Okay. And then we'll bring other people into it. We may not have a background to it, but I think that's fine. I think it's going to happen week over week. Mm-hmm. So, tell me about the starting world. Where are the players going to start?
The players are going to start within the actual city that we've envisioned so far.
Okay.
What's that?
Is it a sprawling city or is it a tall city, like compact?
I would say that it's a mix between between both. It's not like, super duper. I guess it would be tall, but I guess it would also be like a fairly big metropolis.
Okay, and the reason why I asked that is because if you've noticed, if you go back to the Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner,
yeah.
When the sets, and they didn't have a lot of money for the sets, cities were small, right? And are you giving the players that kind of feel, or is it going to be something where the sets are limitless and you could see the city for miles and it spreads across miles of the landscape?
I would probably have it be a little bit more closed,
mm-hmm.
A little bit it wouldn't be. I'm trying to think of a city Um, it definitely wouldn't be like Manhattan because it's like pretty big. I was thinking more like if somebody really built up Pittsburgh, I guess.
Okay. All right. So here's another question. When you leave the city, are you outside civilization?
Yes.
So there's no rolling suburbs. It's city or nothing.
It's city, wall, vast plains.
Got it. Got it. Very cool. So how are the players going to start off?
That's what I'm having problems with. Like, what's the call to action? Like, why are you all like? What brings you all here today? Pretty much.
Are the players going to know each other beforehand, or do you think we're going to get players as we go, and you're going to introduce them as they go?
Players as they go would be really, really interesting because of the way that I guess like for like story elements, like because like some of the occupations and things like that, like a lot of people like wouldn't really know each other because this isn't really like because the way that I see it, this isn't like a like a gun for hire type of thing where it's like you go to like Waterdeep or Baldur's Gate and they have like town postings and things like that for freelancers,
right?
So like it's not that kind of place where that would happen.
Okay.
Like there would have to be like an inciting element to bring a party together.
Okay. So something has to bring them all together. Did you get a chance to watch Altered Carbon at all?
I haven't.
Okay.
Not yet. Sorry.
That's fine. It's fine. That's your problem.
I know.
All right. So okay, I can understand. So how do the players? Have you looked over the site? What kind of classes and races do you have?
Let me bring up all the races. The classes.
Sure.
Classes would be a little bit, classes 5e would be. Come on. So like, like I guess like the martial classes would definitely be included. So like maybe paladin would have to be called something different.
Okay. Why?
No, I'm just thinking because we are introducing that kind of religious element to it as well. If you remember, like our conversation from last week.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I like that.
So I was just like, no, wait, maybe paladin would be the same thing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think paladin would stay. Cleric you could probably easily change to priest.
Yeah.
I think that term holds on both. And we're being hosted, and I want to say thank you. We're being hosted by Nerdolopedia. I hope I said that right. I think I said that right. We will be hosting them on Friday. They have a good game going.
Cool.
So excellent.
So like let me see. I'm bringing here. Monk, you said would probably not need to have anything drastically changed or at all. Rogue would definitely still exist. Ranger definitely, but the ones that I'm thinking would be the classes that would be like on the outskirts of the society. The ones that would be on the plains would be like barbarian, possibly druid, sorcerers, warlocks, wizards, things like that.
You would think sorcerers would find their way into the city. Wizard, maybe not. You know.
Yeah, I always get them switched up. Sorcerer is inherent magic. Wizard is
book magic.
Book magic.
Yep. That's why I was just thinking that, it's, I actually could see both, but a wizard would probably be more, would be less common, and I could absolutely see a sorcerer just working their way into the city. So I like
the whole thing is that that like magic has like fallen out of the public perception.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Really the only people that practice magic are the religious organizations. It's like divine magic.
Right. The divine or behind the scenes, underground.
Yeah.
And most of the underground is out of the city in the vast plains. Mm-hmm. So the wild magic.
Mm-hmm. Or the literal, just like an underground like society cabal of like magic practitioners.
Sure. Okay, so all right, so that's interesting. So now, let's say you pick up players. You might not get 6 all at once, or you won't get 4 all at once, because that's what we're shooting for initially, 4 players. Mm-hmm. I've also asked Russ to change the background, since it's going to be a different type of world.
How did he react to that?
He hasn't said anything. What I did is I have a running document of all the graphics I need. So
like he left you on red.
So I just put it there. So hopefully he'll still be talking to me after this.
Yeah.
So, I will be picking up a network cable also. I'm just talking out loud here, but I'm picking up a network cable that will steady our stream. I keep missing a couple of skipped frames, not nearly as many as last week, which is good, but I want to stop skipping streams and frames, and the best way to do that is to do a hardwire as opposed to go to Wi-Fi. So I'll switch off of Wi-Fi for next week. That's not a problem. What else do we have? Okay, so now you're gonna get players. You're hopefully gonna start with the one player that you talked about. And how would you then start the adventure with this one person, and then we can start looking for people to join?
I have done a lot of one-off, like one-on-one campaigns.
Okay.
And I think those are really, really fun. So I think it'd be really, really interesting. Just like building a party, like week by week, would be pretty interesting. Like hey, this is your adventure, and you're gonna encounter this person, and now you guys have to work together, and then you're gonna find another person. Or would that be like too complicated, do you think?
Got it. No, I don't think that would be too complicated at all. I actually think that may work. I think that will give you some time to focus on why does this other player exist, or how do you know them, or things like that.
They're like a I don't know, I don't know, what would you classify like as a mechanic, I guess. They're like a mechanic or whatever, and they're just living their life, and all of a sudden they fall into they find they find magic, and they don't know what it is, and they're trying to figure out what the deal is, and I don't know, it's just off the top of my head.
Right.
Like it's one person, and then the party gets amassed after a while, because like I said, in this world there's no real we need 5 scrappy people with attitude to like come and do one task for us, because it just doesn't feel right in my head that's how things would work.
No, and if you think about it, I mean, Blade Runner was around one person, right? So
yeah.
So I get that.
I'm really kicking myself just being like, oh yeah, it's 5e Blade Runner, because I kind of I don't want it to be like that limited, where it's just like I'm gonna be basically just doing this. That's just like the kind of aesthetic that I wanted to pitch in, like it's like a future world that is, I guess, something that can be attained in the near future, I guess.
Okay, that's fair enough. We did go off and say it was one thing, and it's really not, and that's fine. Let's see. I'm just looking to pull something up so that I can do it. I mean, worst case scenarios, I'll go grab my book, and then I'll be off camera for like 2 minutes. You okay?
I ripped my headphones out of my ears.
I was gonna say, you okay? Something to attack you?
Did that make like a huge noise?
No, but I was off screen, so so I definitely heard something different. I All right, I'm gonna have to go grab. I'm gonna go grab it from off camera. I apologize. I'll be right back. Keep talking.
I can't possibly do this by myself. Oh, you heard that? Okay.
Oh, I did. Almost couldn't find my book. So while I'm pulling this up, oh, good thing I was wearing pants, right?
Nice.
Well, if you're only videotaping from like here
I know.
up,
I'm like in like gray, like gross sweatpants and like the biggest, thickest, fluffy socks like on the planet.
nice.
So low effort.
So let's look through this. So we're talking. So you want to try your how's your can I hear the elevator speech that you have so far?
That's the thing. I don't really have one prepared because I wanted to have a little bit more of a concrete.
Oh my God, you didn't do your homework.
And plot.
You did
So
do
that-
your homework.
I tried.
All
It's
right.
just that it was kind of just like sidetracked by like I want there to actually be something that will hook people in. Like, oh, this is something that's like I wanted to have like a plot element that would just be like, yes, that's something that would be cool to play.
It's going to be cool to play in it if you make it that way.
Yeah, hopefully.
Are you including dwarves?
Let me bring up all the races again. Because I always forget at least one. Races 5e. Dwarves, I believe. Dwarves, yeah, I think.
Okay. Ooh. Elves?
Oh yeah, definitely elves.
Now, what about sub races?
Such as what, like Goliaths and things like that.
No. Like dwarves could be like a mountain,
Oh, okay.
mountain or hill. Like you are, but probably you just have to call them differently.
Yeah.
Maybe like one's a city dwarf and one's a wild
City
dwarf. Yeah.
Country dwarf.
Yes. Like elves have the high elf, the wood elf, which can easily be city and wild.
Oh yeah.
And then the dark elf.
The
The drow.
The drow. I have big plans for the drow.
Oh, good.
Very big plans for the drow.
I like drow. Drow are very nice.
They are of a so pretty much in the plains area outside of the cities, there are magic users who live outside in the plain. There are magic users who live outside the plain areas.
Yeah.
And there is, and every so often, there is a band of drow who get into turf wars with the other magic users.
Okay.
And I want to have it so that the drow are part of the kind of part of the overarching plot that I'm kind of playing around with.
Okay. All right. So then we won't go too deep into that. What could a player be a drow?
No.
Okay.
Well, maybe. I would advise against it.
Okay. But you'd work with them if
I would, yeah.
if they wanted to be. Okay, good. What
Because
about
generally drow do not go into the city.
I don't blame them. I don't want to go into the city.
They would not be in the city. They are strictly on the plains.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. And
they're all the way I had it in my head. They're pretty much covered up and they're pretty much like Tusken Raiders.
So they could possibly be. Ooh, hang on one second. Just saying. So, all right, I'm good with that. I mean, it's your thing. I'm envisioning it, so it's all good. Just sending this to Morgan. But let's see what can we. What about halflings?
Oh, halflings would definitely be in the cities.
They're city people?
They're city people, definitely.
All right.
Halflings, tieflings would probably be in the city as well. Those hipsters.
Dragonborn? Strictly.
Dragonborn, I'm not sure. Maybe. Not as many. It would be like rare to see a dragonborn.
Okay.
And I would feel like if a dragonborn were in the city, they would probably be maybe with like the religious organizations.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That may be that would work. I can see how that would work.
Mm-hmm.
What about gnomes? Only in gardens? Because that's where they belong.
Not a gnome fan. Never played a gnome.
I've never played a gnome. But gnomes belong in gardens.
Let me think. I would say yes to that.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, I know people like to play gnomes. I don't hate gnomes. I just think they belong in gardens. Although I will say that the gnome that they have in the player's handbook, the picture of the gnome in the player's handbook, is pretty cool.
Let me see right here. It's usually I'm on D&D Beyond right now, and they usually have the same as the player handbook. Oh, yeah, the one with the short asymmetrical hair.
Yes.
The gal, yeah.
With the bow.
Mhm.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. That would be a gnome character I would play. And half elves, if you have elves, you have to have half elves, I guess. What about half orcs?
Half orcs, definitely.
Yes, really?
Definitely half orcs.
In the city?
In the city.
Okay. All right.
Orcs full orcs would be out on the plains, I believe, in whatever's left of society.
Okay. All right, that sounds good.
I'm very attached to half orcs.
Yeah, apparently.
I love half orcs.
And you already said tieflings were going to be hipsters in the city. I like that.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know why. Every time I picture tieflings, I'm like they're like hipsters. They're like edgelord hipsters.
Got it. So, all right. So now going to the class. Now moving on to classes.
Okay, let me get back to that.
If you have any suggestions, all means let us know. This is open forum this week. Let's see. So barbarian.
Barbarian would probably be strictly an outsider,
So
outlander class.
So if we say outlander class, we're saying that that players probably shouldn't or couldn't be them. Right?
I would say that they could, just that they would have to it would be tricky.
Okay. All right. So
it would be tricky to deal with.
So since we are going to have guests and NPCs, we will be able to like people, like some of our guests will be able to play a drow or a barbarian or something like that because they might be coming in for something specific. Like you could find a barbarian guide out in the wilds, I guess.
Yeah.
What about water? Like oceans and boats and stuff like that. And what kind of boats and what kind of navies are there?
I don't envision a lot of like water here. It's mostly land-based because maybe there's not that much water left on the planet.
Interesting. Okay. So we have barbarians and bards. Bards are going to be bards, right?
Bards can be anywhere they want to be.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
There can be like a war-collar bard, like the guy from Mad Max Fury Road. There can be like, they could be buskers in the city. Bards are going to bard.
Okay. There may even be bands of bards.
What's that?
They could even be a band of bards.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the band of Drow are just like
The
they're
bard.
dropping their latest mixtape.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah.
want you to hear it.
The underground drow.
Yeah.
All right, clerics are going to be priests. We already talked about that. Druids would probably be a wild class.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fighters are straightforward. Monks are relatively straightforward. The paladins are also kind of straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
Rangers. So now there truly is a distinction between city and wild with a ranger. Okay. Rogues stay the same. Sorcerer, we said, could possibly be in the city, just rare.
Yeah, rare and underground.
Warlocks and wizards. Warlocks are completely outside, and wizards are sometimes hidden and super rare.
I feel like warlocks, though. I kind of feel like like warlocks would just be like. I'm not allowed to curse on the stream, am I?
Try not to.
Okay, never mind. I feel like warlocks would just be like, they would like to stir the pot, basically, within the cities.
Okay. Mm-hmm. They're political back muscle. Got it. Let's see. Wizard is wizard. We know what wizards are. Let's move on. So the personality and background, that pretty much stays the same.
Uh-huh.
You just have to change customizing the backgrounds when someone picked it to be city-based. That's pretty straightforward. Now, equipment. So we are going to we're gonna use that site, right?
Right. It's not gonna. I don't envision it being that elaborate.
Okay, like it'll be straightforward. I mean, like there's probably not tons and tons of variations. There's probably a couple of sets of armor to start with, a couple of weapons, and then those are the things that we'll start talking about on Monday. Like, we need more weapons, or we need, hey, could you flesh this out? We need something, and we could do that. Okay. All right. So armor and weapons are pretty straightforward. Adventuring gear, we're gonna have to address that.
Yeah.
You know, what does it mean to have adventuring gear?
Let's bring it up like an explorer's pack, like the packs that you get, like the standard.
Yeah. So I have explorer's pack here. It includes a backpack, a bedroll, a mess kit, a tinderbox, 10 torches, 10 days of rations, and a water skin. The pack also has 50 feet of hempen rope strapped to the side of it. So
like make that synthetic rope or something.
Yeah, some like a synth rope. 10 days of rations. That's beef jerky, right?
It's like jerky hardtack.
Instead of
it's
10
like
torches, it would be like 10 of those glow stick type emergency
like
lights.
A rave. Just have a rave.
Tinderbox is quite simply a lighter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Mess
like
kit.
A Zippo.
Yeah, like a Zippo. Mess kit is what? Let's see.
So like just like a plate and like forks and knife and a cup.
It's like one of those wooden ice spoons. It's a spork. That's what you got. It's a universal spork.
Because Taco Bell did win the franchise wars.
That's right, and they won because of the spork.
Now all the restaurants are Taco Bell.
Let's see. That's the Explorer's pack. A burglar pack includes a backpack, a bag of 1,000 ball bearings, still usable.
Yes.
10 feet of string. Okay. A bell. Okay. Candles. Mini flashlights.
I feel like candles would still be a thing.
Yeah. A crowbar. Yes. A hammer. 10 pythons. A hooded lantern. Okay, so that's more like a beam flashlight.
Yeah.
2 flasks of oil. You know, interestingly, not for the same use, but interesting.
Yeah.
5 days of beef jerky, a lighter, and a flask. It says water skin. But you figure that's you have a
so
bottle.
All water skins are replaced with flasks,
Yeah.
basically.
The pack also
or like
has
one of those like those what is it, like those things that like attach to your body that you just kind of like, sip on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. Nice. Ah. Okay. All right, let's see. What else do we got? We have the Diplomats pack. Includes a chest, 2 cases for maps and scrolls, a set of fine clothes, a bottle of ink, an ink pen, a lamp, 2 flasks of oil, 5 sheets of paper, a vial of perfume, sealing wax, and soap. So
I would say that I would keep that as is, just for the ceremony.
Yes. Except a personal recorder instead of 5 sheets of paper.
Personal recorder?
Yes.
Palm Pilot,
No,
no.
you want to put us backwards in time?
Exactly.
This is what we hope to achieve? We hope to achieve the Palm Pilot? Please. I had one. It's horrible.
Oh, I did too. It's still kicking around somewhere in one of my. I have like a drawer of old dead tech next to me.
Yeah, I just found my old BlackBerry.
It's like my cell phone from like 1999 is in there.
Oh my goodness.
I would say that there would still be that the Diplomats pack should be kept as is. I guess except for the was it the pieces of paper?
Yes.
Being replaced with another recording device.
Yes. Okay, let's see. They have the Dungeoneers pack, crowbar, hammer, 10 pythons, 10 torches, a tinderbox, 10 days of beef jerky, and a flask. It's pretty straightforward. The Explorers pack, we do Entertainers pack includes a bedroll, a mess kit, a tinderbox, 10 torches, 10 days of rations, and a flask. So,
sorry, are we replacing torches with flashlights?
Not, I would think, yeah, I guess so.
Flashlight plus batteries.
Yeah. Priest pack. A blanket, candles, a tinderbox, an alms box.
I'm not even exactly sure what that is. I know I looked it up one time, and I can't remember.
It's just a box that they use for people to donate to them.
Oh, okay, yeah. Alms for the poor.
Yes, it's exactly what it is.
Gotcha, okay.
Now it's just an alms wallet. Put money right in my wallet.
Patreon.
It's a Patreon. Here, yes. Okay, so that's interesting. Is there paper money?
Paper money? I'm gonna say yeah.
Yeah?
In my mind, it looks like Canadian money. So like vinyl, multicolored.
And see-through?
Fancy. What's that?
And see-through?
I forgot it. I was just in Canada, so well, not just a couple months ago.
I had some. Some of the money was see-through. You could see through certain areas of it.
Okay. Smells like maple syrup.
I would just eat it.
I love Canada.
I like maple syrup. All right, a lot of this stuff stays the same. Lodgings. We got.
Bard instruments would probably need to be updated.
Yeah, now they all have built-in amps.
Yeah, it's like a busker guitar. It's like an acoustic guitar with like a built-in amp.
I want to.
Electric, rather.
I want to see one of the bards rap.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I really, really do.
Okay, did you ever see Devilman Crybaby?
No.
Oh, they had some rappers. So it's like an updated version of Devilman, and it takes place like modern day, and so they had like this interesting Greek chorus type thing where it was done by these hip hop guys, and they're like telling the story through hip hop, and it was really, really cool.
Well, you know what? It can work because I see it work on silly things and on cartoons all the time when they rap their day. casting a spell doesn't change, right?
Well, you just couldn't be able to do it in the city unless you want to run the risk of being arrested.
So this
or murdered.
that's fair. No, it's perfectly fine. Have you ever played Mage: The Gathering?
No, I have not.
It's probably not The Gathering, but it's The Awakening. That's what it was. Mage: The Awakening. So I used to call it Mage the Excuse, because every time you cast a spell, and this is what made me give it up, by the way, every time you cast a spell, you had to explain how that could have happened naturally, and how it could happen naturally, so you can avoid backlash. Too much backlash, you could physically die, because it's just an explosion of when reality hits you in the face, so to speak. And so we would get chased by a car sometimes, and I would stop the engine. So the GM would ask me, so how did that happen? I'm like, I don't know, the electric shorted out. He would demand a different excuse for the same action every time.
That seems...
And I was like, really? I couldn't, I just couldn't, like, I couldn't. How many times can I say the transformer blew and that's why the lights went out? I'm like, come on, I have a good excuse, just leave it.
Did you say that was a mechanic of the game, or was that just your particular DM?
It was a mechanic of the game to come up with an excuse to explain why, so you can avoid backlash. However, to change it every single time was his problem. Was a thing that he did, and it got to a point where, and what the reason why it bothered me is because it was compatible with Vampire the Masquerade and Werewolf, and we had characters who were either a werewolf or a vampire, super powerful, and they just walk around. They're like they get no penalty for being a supernatural creature in this world.
I would say that if you wanted to cast a spell, you'd have to in the city. You would have to probably do a stealth check prior.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, let me just write that down. I'm actually writing notes just because it's easier for me.
That's fine. Just throw them in the document when you're done.
Yeah, stealth check before casting. So like the mage myself, as a human, I couldn't walk around with weapons without getting arrested, and every time I cast a spell, there was this chance that I could die. Whereas a vampire could walk the street fully loaded with whatever he wanted to walk around with, kill people, walk away, and be a supernatural entity, and nothing would happen. And I'm like, it's just part of being me. That's my whole thing.
Right? Like, really?
Seems unfair.
It was. I stopped playing the game. It's just, I never went back. It's not that.
I was thinking. So for some of the characters, because like how rangers can, how like rangers can cast spells and things like that.
Yes.
So but city rangers would not know how to, because they wouldn't know, magic.
What would you give them in return?
What's that?
That's pretty interesting. What would you give them in return?
Oh man, what do I want to give my favorite class? I'm going to be very, very preferring rangers for this. What I was thinking was that
It's tough. Why don't you wait until someone becomes a ranger?
Yeah.
Why don't you wait till someone says, "I want to be a ranger"? Then we can deal with that problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we need to deal with it, but it's an interesting perspective, because you immediately put them at a slight disadvantage when they can cast spells.
That's level 2.
Yeah, I think it's pretty early on.
Yeah, it's level 2 for rangers. Well, I mean, some classes they don't get spells at all, so.
Yeah. But the ranger, you put at a disadvantage since that's one of his abilities.
Yeah.
You're basically taking it away for, and interesting. Do they pick? Well, I guess a ranger would have to pick. Then what you're saying is a ranger has to pick, street or wild at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because it's going to affect their second level instead of wait to third when they pick their path. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's one for you.
What's up?
Gods. Have you thought about the
Yes.
Pantheon?
Thinking about the Pantheon currently, trying to make that part of the overarching plot of the world.
Okay.
So I don't have one particular one in mind. Like that would be more Lex's thing. They're really good at doing Pantheon type stuff.
Okay. Sounds good to me. What about
Oh no. I'm scared.
what about cities? Are there other cities in the world?
Yes, there are.
Are there fantasy cities in the world? Are they all cities at the high-tech technology?
They're all pretty homogenous,
Okay. So
but they're just far from each other.
okay. So transportation to and from the cities, how are you going to handle that?
It could be through instant transport because
Oh,
I already established that you don't want to venture out on the plains by yourself, or like you don't want to venture out onto the plains period because of like the wild packs of well the city people wouldn't know that they're magic users. They just see like these people fighting. It's like a war zone basically.
so there's no flying anything that goes from city to city. You just use transport.
I guess there could be flight, but like it would probably be like commercial flight rather than individual flight.
Oh, interesting. Okay. But that's vertical takeoff and landing though, not airport.
No, I don't think airport,
Right.
because that would require like
Large swaths of land.
miles and miles of land and like
So all these cities are enclosed in their own walls. Okay. So here's something. Being that you're in a city, what kind of creatures are the players going to be able to encounter in the city?
what kind of creatures?
Yeah.
Like you mean like wildlife?
Or I would say protagonists.
Oh, protagonists.
Yes. Protagonists. Like we know there's going to be the whatever organization, the evil organization that's against them or something like that. But, when we're talking about city, you're talking about multi-layers of plot.
Mm-hmm.
Have you thought of that?
You mean like classes and demographics and things like that? Like class structure and like demographics and things like that?
No, there's definitely going to be that, but you're going to have what kind of bad guys you're going to have.
What kind of bad guys?
Somebody's going to someone's going to shoot a gun at some point.
Okay, you mean like
They need a reason to start looking into things. Someone's going to be behind that curtain.
Yeah.
And when you're dealing with a city adventure in general, even if you go back to the Blade Runner-esque, I'll call it Blade Runner-esque. If you go back to that, it's intrigue and plots within plots.
Yeah, that's more like what I want.
Okay.
I want like some level of like political intrigue and something like that. Something like similar to like I guess to like I guess to use like fantasy, like how people like marketed Game of Thrones as fantasy for people who don't like fantasy.
Okay.
Because, it's got like fantastical elements. It's got dragons and like it's got magic, but it also has this really rich story for 4 seasons.
Yes.
And yeah, I kind of want it to be like that's something that like people can just be like, oh, there's layers upon layers. It's like it's a story that people can get into and like will feel satisfied figuring out.
Okay.
And that's what I want to like I'm working on. I want to work on getting like that before I actually start to like before like I can like do like an elevator pitch that I'm really like behind, not where it's just like oh, we have this world and maybe I kind of want to have that down and just be like oh, well, this is happening and you need to figure out why.
Okay. So to talk about when the first game is. So the first game, let's tentatively set for 3 weeks from today.
Okay.
That gives us next week to work with Lex and get more of our notes down. And then 2 weeks. So 3 weeks, we need to come up with at least one player.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll be working on. All right, so we'll put it out there. We'll see if there's player attraction. But so 3 weeks though is what we're looking at, right?
Yeah.
So I went through the entire player's handbook, and it looks like we have the major points covered. There's still details that you're going to have to work out. That's okay.
Oh, yeah, of course.
As we go. But now what about, all right, so there's no cities outside the modern cities. Are there organized settlements outside these larger cities in the wild?
There are definitely, like, I was thinking about that, how you guys last week when we were on the weekly word, what was that tavern that you hated, the Strangled Unicorn?
The Strangled Unicorn.
Or just like burnt out husks of like society that like the magic practitioners have taken over. So that's where the spaghetti western element would come in, that they are kind of like ghost towns that are being inhabited by like the magic users. They used to be like bustling, like bustling towns, but now they're just like, abandoned and
what about
except for
what about underground cities?
I wanted to have like that be more confined to the actual cities, where it's just like way underground, like maybe like speakeasy type thing, where there are magic users within the city. Every now and then they come up to just like cause chaos, and they're like, hey, we can't do this here, there's more people out there and they're coming.
Okay, all right. No, that's fine. I was just thinking out loud. Maybe we can do maybe there could be a fantasy city out there that's underground, but you have the drow, you can do it.
Yeah.
So okay, so all right, so this is gonna focus on, so I'm player one.
You ready?
What am I doing? What kind of adventure am I going on?
I don't know, pick your class.
Fair enough. I'm a monk.
You're a monk. Okay. So I guess a monk would probably get wind of something rotten in the state of the religious organization, and they would like to have some help in figuring out what exactly it is that's happening, or they can actually examine themselves at first.
So they came to me because they see me as an external objective opinion.
Oh no, I was saying that your character would receive information.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they didn't come to me. I came upon it.
You came upon it, yes.
Oh, okay, I got it. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
So like things would be happening to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Would that change if I picked a different class?
Most likely, yes.
Interesting. So I'm a monk, and then player 2 comes along, and that player 2 decides to be a priest. How do we meet?
You could probably... So like a monk would probably be like in a monastery somewhere.
Sure.
Like within the city. So I guess that they would want to further examine the source of the, something rotten, which would be coming from the part of the city where a priest would reside.
Okay.
So it would be possible that, a monk and a priest would be able to meet up, and it wouldn't be anything anything different, especially if they were cut from the same cloth, so to speak.
Okay. Now I'm
the monks would just be more cloistered than the priests.
Right. Mm-hmm. I'm a monk, and then the second player is a fighter. I almost said priest again.
More priests.
More priests. Too many priests.
Too many priests.
Your city is full of priests.
I'm thinking for a fighter, that would probably be detached from that storyline. The fighter would probably be dispatched to take care of any magic users that any sort of magic users that are that like infiltrate the city, like like a warlock, just like comes up from the underground and just decides to like wreak havoc, and people don't know what's happening because they don't know what magic is. And I guess the fighter wouldn't either, but they just know that they have to dispatch this person.
How would you connect the fighter with the monk?
The fighter with the monk. I would say through some kind of maybe some kind of drop on the warlock that they dispatched, like some kind of symbol.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They're like, oh, this is that symbol. I should go check this out. Like maybe, again, off the top of my head, I can't really
No, it's fine. I'm just throwing these things out at you because there's going to be some sort of combination, and whether you may get 2 or 3 players at once, you may only get one at a time, and either will work. It's just a matter of how you gonna tie the storyline, and now we're giving you a deadline. Now you got 3 weeks.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, that'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So now we could put out that we're looking for players. I don't know where we would put that out. I guess we would put that out on Twitter. Obviously, we'll put it out
on Twitter. I guess the Slack maybe.
Yeah. That'll be cool. Start seeing people play. Then I'll put it in the Discord channel I'm in. Try to get it out there. What else we got? What else have you been thinking about? I've been doing all the talking here.
Mostly I've just been trying to figure out how to make everything make sense.
Okay, where have you gotten? Okay. Where have you gotten so far?
Like, again, I'm trying to make it so that it can be like a very rich storyline that people could have fun playing. And I want to get more feedback on some of those elements, like having like without getting too spoilery, I guess. It's hard to do on stream. Just be like, oh hey, this big plot element that we don't want our players knowing just yet.
Oh, you don't want to give out the plot on stream? Huh. What fun is that?
Right?
Nice. Very cool. So, all right. So then next week we will do one more session of world building. I think we could focus on. What did you think about politics?
Yeah.
And government.
That's one of those things where I'm not sure. Definitely, the religious organizations would have some pull with with politics.
Always do.
Definitely would have some kind of weird class, some kind of class hierarchy. But I'm not exactly sure how to structure it just yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And government? You haven't thought of too much?
Government would probably be like a oligarchy.
And does it span multiple cities, or is each city unique?
Each city would be unique.
And they all govern themselves?
They all govern. Yeah, they're all sovereign. Their own sovereign.
But you can
city states.
But you can travel to them. So is there some sort of regulation to travel between them?
Oh, you got me there.
Well, that's all right. That's what I'm doing. That's just making sure that you're ready for some of the questions that come out, or some of the things you have to plan for. I'm allowed to get you here.
Yeah. No. It's totally fine. Yeah, I'm totally open to criticism and everything like that.
I'm not being critical.
But I would say just like that's something that I would definitely have to think more about.
Sure, because I'm sure there'll be alliances, but if each city is unique, right? And
that would actually probably make things a little bit more difficult. Like maybe if there were like a maybe if like the city that we're in would be like the capital, and like the other cities would just be like outpost cities or just like smaller satellite cities that all basically have the same government.
you could also have, say, we're at war with this city and turn off the transport. But that was just something to think about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm more comfortable with it just being like the city that where the main action takes place is like the capital, and the other and it's like there are other like smaller cities, but they are not close by.
So is there a campaign arc, or are you, and I'll bring this in, and I know people have already asked you this, but or are you going to do it more Shadowrun? In Shadowrun, there may be the way they recommend doing it in Shadowrun, and I like it, is there may be a campaign arc, but everything is focused on one job at a time. The Shadowrun group, they get a job, they do it, it's over. They get a job, they do it, it's over. Maybe drop a few hints to something overarching, but Shadowrunners live from job to job.
Okay. There would most likely be, at the beginning at least, maybe that would be a little bit more
one-offs.
Like when you're getting to know the mechanics of the world and getting to know just how it is there. Maybe it would be a little bit more like job to job, but as you collect more information, it would be like I would love for there to be like an overarching campaign.
Sure, no, that'd be great. Okay, so good.
Like everything is like a means to an end. It's not like just individualized jobs.
Anyone? Okay, all right. No, I was just curious because in Shadowrun they do that a lot. Well, I mean, Shadowrun is focused on job by job. It's not necessarily a campaign. Yeah, you use the same characters, and there could be an overarching campaign, but it doesn't dominate the session play. Would be interested. Can they contact you at your email?
Sorry, are you talking to me?
Yes. So if a player wanted to contact you, how would they contact you?
Yeah, they can contact me on my email or on Twitter. Twitter would probably be better, to be honest.
AJ on Twitter.
Yeah, because the DM will ping my phone. So.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that I have my DMs open on Twitter.
AJ MART.
I shorten that.
IN Martin SSON. Also, please feel free to follow me on Twitter at Disruptive DM. There we go. Disruptive DM is my Twitter. Not that people will care after I disappear into the background, but whatever. I can push myself on the other shows. The Monday morning one's going to be fun with Dave. That'll be interesting. We'll talk
6:15 in the morning.
6:30 in the morning. I think it'll be great. And then Monday night we'll be with John on world building. So I will start building some of the aspects here. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but what do you think? What do you think needs to be covered?
Oh, sorry, that was just your alert. What needs to be covered, I think. What you mean for the Monday show?
Yeah, like for the Monday show, we're gonna pick an aspect. John wants to pick like, because we have 3 20-minute segments to flesh out something. He's going to pick something from his campaign, and he recommended that we pick something from this campaign and then something from my campaign. I'm okay with doing that, but I just don't want it to. It's perfectly okay for us to do like 3 from yours or 2 from his and 1 from, any mix. I don't want to set something completely. It's let's pick the stuff that we want to hash out.
Okay.
I don't want to hash out like 3 gods in a night. That's silly.
Maybe politics.
Politics. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll take that as a note. We will hash out the politics for. Now, do you want us to do the government side, the government perspective of politics in the main city, and its relationship to the outposts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So interesting. I read a book by Richard K. Morgan. Richard K. Morgan is the author of Altered Carbon.
Thing I still need to watch.
Right. Well, he's written a bunch of books, and interestingly enough, there's a couple of books that take place on Mars, and even within Mars, which is under one government, it's government by Earth, but they govern themselves, and even within that, they have specific areas across in the planet that are governed separately because they're separated by nothing. And you got to take a specific train to get to certain places, but there's a different type of government. Yes, they're loosely governed together, but separately there's different kind of rules.
The way I'm thinking is that Murder is actually like a continent.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I just lost my train of thought. It's just like a continent rather than like a planet.
Yeah. That's what I figured. That's okay. Actually, that's how I thought of it. So sorry if I didn't say that, but okay.
Oh no, it's fine. I just wanted to like make that clear. Mostly because I always thought that it was weird when people in movies go to a planet and it seems like it's entirely homogenous.
Yes.
And I'm just like, oh, this is okay. I guess this is how it is. The entire thing.
Yes.
The entire planet, but like, Marauder would be just like a continent that is like detached, like an island continent, which is detached, but like it's vast.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of people have never seen like whatever sparse water is left.
Yeah. No. I get it. And that's fine. We can work on that. I was just mentioning because I like the way, because what you're talking about is definitely one of the ways that they did it. That Morgan did it in his books, and I liked it. I liked the different feel. You showed up in a different place, and while the same general laws applied, because it was the same government, how they're enforced, who enforces them, and were different, and the people that were in control were sort of in control. So I thought it was pretty. It was more of a criminal element in one area as opposed to the main area. Not that there wasn't a criminal element anywhere, but so it was. I like the way he did it, and I think something similar is what you're looking for, in that there is a central government, and this government is this way, and however the relationships to some of the outposts, while intact, isn't necessarily exact. All right, so we could do that.
Yeah,
easily.
And it would be like, but yeah, I think we'd see a lot of the action just take place in like the main city.
Oh yeah, that's
which
fine.
Which would definitely be like there would be like the super nice parts, and there'd be like the gross parts, and like like the more modest parts of it.
Yep, completely understand.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll work. All right, so then we will work. So John and I will work on government on Monday. And see what we come up with. Government/politics on Monday.
Yeah, I mean, I'll come up with stuff as well. Like, we'll see. I guess we can just see what I'll come up with.
We'll throw it your way, and you do what you want with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at a con this weekend. So.
What con are you going to?
DerpyCon in Morristown.
You didn't bother to invite us.
Sorry.
I will be at David O. Miller's house. he's running a Call of Cthulhu game for his yearly Call of Cthulhu game for Halloween. So I will be playing in that. And that should
cool.
be fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at DerbyCon in Morristown this weekend, and next weekend I'm gonna be in where the hell am I gonna be? I'm gonna be in at NecoCon down in Virginia.
Interesting.
So I'm definitely gonna have some like downtime to because I'm gonna be at a dealer's table, so I'm gonna definitely have some time to be alone with my thoughts.
That's not very nice to say. If you're at a dealer's table, you should be busy all the time.
Oh, I mean, it's all it's an artist alley table, so
I'm only kidding.
Whoever stops by. If they don't, it's fine. Whatever. I'm strong.
So you go to so it's your table, artist alley?
No, it's me and Lex.
What are you guys doing?
Well, we're doing panels.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing panels both weekends.
But what's going to be at your table?
Art and books. I draw. Lex writes.
Do you draw what he writes, or does he write what you draw?
I do the covers.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And I just do I have some original art and I have some fan art as well.
All right. Very cool. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Are you doing the same thing at DerbyCon, or are you just going?
Yeah, doing the same thing at DerbyCon. Mm-hmm. And I'll be doing panels. I have 2 new panels that I'm going to be doing one on what was it? I do a cryptids panel.
Okay.
So every I've done it I think about 5 times, and every time I do it, I put in a new local cryptid.
Okay.
So something hyper local to the area.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then we're also doing one that's going to be Satanism in mass media.
Huh.
So we're going to talk about all that from pretty much from Dante to present.
Lot of present Satanism in mass media. I get it.
Yeah.
He's a lot more subtle today. Now we just call them businessmen.
Oh yeah. I was thinking more in Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, where everything is just hail Satan, just casually just hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Yeah, just hail Satan. Last podcast on the left, they always just sign off with hail Satan. I love those guys.
I was just watching Family Guy a couple of weeks ago when he was on the Patriots, and he was thanking God, and then he thanked the devil because he said, without the devil, God would just get bored and go crazy or shoot himself or something like that. Interesting. All right, nobody's ever done that one, so that's pretty good. But all right, very cool. So that's what you're doing. So you never set up an artist table at DexCon or
No, I've only been
Dreamation.
to was I at DexCon? I think it was DexCon. Yeah, DexCon. No, I was volunteering there the one time I went.
Oh, okay. All right. Just curious.
Yeah, I was watching anime all day in that little room. And then playing D&D.
And I guess you didn't really know us at that time because we're always there.
No, that was before. We were at DexCon before we started hitting up Legendary. Before then, we were at Final Fortress.
Oh, okay.
Queens.
Okay.
So.
Then you guys got smart and decided to come out. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, they closed, so.
Oh, so we were just the what was left. Great.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's all good. It's all good. All right. So what else do we have to wrap up for tonight?
I'm thinking. I kind of I definitely want to have NPCs. Definitely. Those are required.
Okay.
I don't know how really to start on that. I don't have all the NPCs in my head are just nebulous. They don't really I don't really have a handle on them.
Understood. Understood. I may be able to help you out there. Once again, I am a Shadowrun GM.
Uh-huh.
So I've done a lot of NPC building for Shadowrun. And they translate perfectly to what you're doing.
I very much want to be self-serving, and okay. So every single time I run a game, I always put one of my PCs into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I want to be self-serving, and I want to put one of my PCs into this.
I
know exactly who I want to put in.
Oh, okay. Oh, let's hope it's not the magic user, because
no.
Then you're a mess.
Well, I mean, he is, but like, I can fudge that.
Nice.
So yeah, like this weekend, I put one of my PCs into Death House at the very end, just to rag on the players and things like that. And a lot of the times when people are playing, I'm like, oh yeah, and by the way, I hold up his character sheet. I'm like, reinforcements are here if you need them. So some people will say like, oh hey, where are those reinforcements? And then like I make them like roll for persuasion to get him to join
Right.
the party.
Right.
I'm like, are you really worthy of my help?
Nice. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Okay. So the first game will be in 3 weeks from today. Next week we'll be meeting with Lex, and then we go into the bi-weekly schedule.
Yeah.
Correct?
I gotta find players.
That'll actually be that'll be good. So you'll do some work, I'll do some work. We'll all do some work.
Yeah.
Tell Lex to get his button gear also. He's not here, I can say that.
I don't know if he's still watching or not. He was definitely watching before.
Oh, is he watching?
Messages.
Is he listening? Is he? He's probably listening.
Don't know.
Yeah. Well, okay, then I'll just stick to what I said. Get your button gear.
Yeah.
Nobody's used our suggestion box yet. I'm a little disappointed on that. But that's okay. I think the suggestion box will start to pick up.
I suggest you use the suggestion box. People.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare go there and suggest that we use our suggestion box.
Right? Imagine.
So, okay, then next week really starts the streams for the channel.
Yeah.
Monday morning, Monday night, Tuesday night, and then we'll see where the other streams come.
Full plate.
Yeah. It's nice. And I don't think I want to waste this whole background, even though when we change yours, I think I'm going to reuse this. I think I have an idea for a game I'm going to run.
Okay.
And I think I can use this.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. That's it. Don't forget, you need to go. You'll need to go the full 2 hours. We're just building here, and there's no reason to have, non-dead air. I mean, to have dead air. We're sitting there going, what else can we talk about?
Yeah.
I mean, even I'm not that entertaining. I mean, can't really see the hair, so whatever. There, I said it. For those who wanted me to say it.
Were there people who are just like acknowledge it?
There's always somebody. Somebody will make fun of me.
Aw.
So, but anyway. No, I mean they make fun of me teasingly because they do that.
Yeah.
They'll see them again in this weekly word, but
Oh, there you go. In the chat.
There we go. All right then. Let's we'll wrap it up for tonight.
Yeah.
And I look forward to next week. This has been fun.
Me too. Hopefully I have more of a overarching plot line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'll know what not to spoil.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right then. You work on that, and we'll work on getting players. I think it'd be great.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Very cool. Everybody have a good night. What's your sign off going to be?
Be safe. Don't litter. Take care.
Are you going to have cleaning robots in the city?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, there's gotta be.
All right. Fine. Don't litter.
It's not gonna be like Garbo City.
Watch Altered Carbon, at least the first 2 episodes.
I will. I promise. This week I will.
Lie. You're going away.
I promise.
All right, we'll see.
Get through everything else that I'm watching. There's so much TV.
But this is important. This is for you.
This is true. This is for me. This is for my enrichment.
Excellent. All right, then. Everybody, have a good night. Thank you for listening to us babble for the last hour and a half and sitting through our technical problems. Have a good night.